National Storm Channel studios. It's your daily weather briefing with Chief Meteorologist Sam Lane. This is a severe weather bulletin from the National Storm Channel with Chief Meteorologist Sam Lane.
And good evening, everyone. This is Meteorologist Sam Lane with the National Storm Channel. Wanted to update you on the forecast as well as some severe weather that's developing down in southwestern Oklahoma. And right now you can see it on radar, these storms just to the south and west of the Lawton area, in and around the Frederick radar, in around the Tillman County area, storms developing there, and also another storm just to the north of there, west of Lawton. This is the left mover, and this is the right mover. So we're seeing redevelopment of some severe weather across our area. Let's zoom in on this area of activity, show you what's going on. This storm near Granfield, or just to the west of Granfield, has a hook on it, even a funnel cloud, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you can see very distinct appendage developing on the backside of the storm. You can also see the outflow boundary here, so there's definitely a rotation trying to develop here just across the Oklahoma-Texas state line, south and west of Granfield, moving to the east-northeast. So folks, there in southern Tillman County and eventually on over towards Cotton County will need to be on the lookout for that particular storm. All right, let's take a look at some of the pictures. This is a funnel cloud from that same storm I was showing you on radar. This was about 5 minutes ago. So just kind of gives you an indication of what's going on with that particular storm. And not only a tornadic threat, but also large hail. Here's a quarter, and you can see in comparison, very large hail. This was near Davidson just a few moments ago. So very large hail and the possibility of an isolated tornado with these storms down to the south and west. And this morning, we had quite a bit of winds and storm activity this morning, moving from northwest Oklahoma right through northeast Oklahoma. 81-mile-an-hour wind gust in northern Logan County this morning, 64 at Red Rock, 65 in Pawnee, and 71 mile an hour there in Payne County. As it moved into the Tulsa area, we had gusts around 38 to 45 miles per hour in and around the area, even some higher gusts like 48 in Talala, 48 also in Hectorville, 50 in Winona. So some pretty gusty winds across the area this morning. But the winds have died down this afternoon in our part of the state, but now we have storms redeveloping back to the south and west. In fact, here's a storm watch that's in effect still for the next few hours for south central Oklahoma. And here's that warning that's in effect for Tillman and western parts of Cotton County with that particular storm. All right, let's take a look at the, well, that's not the map I wanted to show you. I apologize for that. Let's go on and take a look at this map. I don't know how that happened. Let me move these maps around just a little bit for you and show you what we can expect over the next few days. It's going to take me just a second to read. There we go. All right, that was the current advisories, but rainfall this morning with those storms was quite intense, especially to the north and west. You can see rainfall amounts well over an inch to an inch and a half in many locations. Then the amounts got lesser or lighter as they got towards Tulsa, but still half an inch of rain at Bixby, 4,600s at the Tulsa Mesonet side. Then it picked up a bit again off to the north and east, an inch and a half in Miami and an inch in Jay. Some places down in south central and southeastern Oklahoma, hardly anything. And of course, now we have the storms developing back down in Tillman County right now. So we're going to be adding to those rain totals before all is said and done. Lows this morning weren't really that low. They're pretty much in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees in northeastern Oklahoma, mid 60s, even some upper 60s down along the Red River and also out in southwestern Oklahoma. Some 40s did show up way out in the Panhandle, in the central Panhandle, where Eva checked in with 48 degrees this morning. But this afternoon, temperatures really soared, especially in southwestern Oklahoma with highs in the low 90s, many locations, 91 in Altus, 92 in Mangum. Then we start getting into the upper 80s, closer to the city, 84 in Oklahoma City. Some places stayed in the 70s though, down in southeastern Oklahoma where the storms were a little bit later to get out of here. 77 in Cookson as well as Stillwell, 78 in Tahlequah. Meanwhile, here in Tulsa, we topped out at about 81 degrees for the afternoon high. And temperatures right now are right at the high of our temperature of 81 degrees. Down to the south, it's 83 in McAllister, 84 right now in Worcester, still 90s out in southwestern Oklahoma, but of course in Granfield, where that storm is rapidly approaching, it's dropped down to 79 degrees currently on the hour. Let's take a look at the dew points because that's a big story too. Look at these oppressive dew points. in the low 70s across a large segment of Oklahoma, mainly south of I-40, and that is just absolutely muggy conditions. You can see the dry line kind of punching in from the west, 49 dew point at Hollis, but 69 out ahead of the storm there in western Tillman County. So a big contrast, and that's what's helping spark that thunderstorm down in that particular area. But even the dew point here in Tulsa is still pretty high at 67 degrees. Satellite view, mostly fair this afternoon. We had the storm complex move through this morning. That is now well on into northeastern Arkansas. We had some storms try to develop just to the north and west of Tulsa, but they have struggled. But notice the big storm out in southwestern Oklahoma. Boom, there it goes, exploding right on the boundary. See the outflow boundary from this morning storm? Here's the outflow boundary from this morning storm. Makes it all the way down to the Gulf Coast into Houston. Then it kind of arcs back up across north central Texas and intersects the dry line moving in from the west. And that's why we have those ingredients kind of coming together there in southwestern Oklahoma, causing the explosive thunderstorm development. Now, as evening goes, we'll see more storms develop along and east of this storm. So these scattered showers of storms are going to be with us through the overnight hours, especially down in southern Oklahoma. So folks in southern Oklahoma, you'll have to be on the lookout for additional storms. All right, let's take a look at the radar forecast. As you can see this evening, maybe a storm or two tries to develop, but then the better chance of storms is going to be down to the south. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, maybe an isolated storm or two, but we're going to have to wait till Sunday morning when we have a better chance of storms moving in from the west. And during the day on Sunday, maybe some scattered storms too, but then yet another boundary comes in from the north and west just in time for Memorial Day, increasing our rain chances yet once again across our area. Here's the severe risk for tonight. Again, mainly down to the south with an enhanced risk across northern Texas. And of course, we're seeing that right now. And then tomorrow, we're expecting the severe area risk to move to the west in southwestern Oklahoma and in north central Texas. So a pretty good chance of severe storms out to the west. Not really expecting anything here in eastern Oklahoma, but of course we'll keep an eye on that for you. Your GFS forecast on rainfall amounts for the next 60 hours, you can see predominantly the heaviest rain will be down along the Arkansas border from the east and then along the Red River from Oklahoma and Texas. Maybe about ½ inch here in Tulsa expected on the GFS model. The Canadian model is much drier. It's thinking that most of northeast Oklahoma is going to be dry for the next 66 hours from this morning's run. Better chance of storms in northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri, also out towards the west, and of course activity along the Red River. And if we look at the German model, the ICON model, it's very similar to the GFS with the heaviest rain to the south, maybe an isolated storm or two here in northeast Oklahoma, dumping around ½ inch of rainfall. Then on the NAM, this is the latest NAM. This goes out until Monday morning, early Monday morning. So maybe an isolated storm or two in northeastern Oklahoma, but the better chance of storms will be up in southwestern Kansas and also, of course, down along the Red River. So we're kind of seeing a pattern here develop on these models as far as the next couple of days. And on the NAM 48 kilometer, you can see that better chance of storms down to the south and also to the north and to the west. And we've got an update on the severe weather down in Texas. Let me show you that real quick. This storm is really starting to wrap up now. You can see very clearly defined outflow boundary intersecting the mesocyclone. So right in there, it's trying to develop a rotation. In fact, let's look at the velocities real quick and show you what's going on with the velocities. And that's a pretty strong couplet. Look at the winds blowing away from the radar and then winds blowing towards the radar. Not very strong towards, so this may become outflow dominated. But right now, it's definitely rotating right there south of Granfield by a few miles. In fact, let's do a track on it here. The center of the rotation is about 8 miles southwest or south-southwest of Granfield, and it's kind of moving to the east-southeast. So it's going to move over towards this town, Burke Burnett, in northern Texas, just on the Texas side. This is north of Wichita Falls. So folks in that area, you need to be on the lookout for that storm as it continues to move in your general direction. All right, let's take a look and move on to the forecast for temperatures for tomorrow morning at about 7 a.m. We're going to be seeing temperatures in the mid-60s pretty much everywhere. So it'll be a muggy night across our area, including 68 degrees here in Tulsa, 68 also over in Pryor. and 66 in Jay, 65 in Vian, and 68 down in Eufaula. So the warmer weather will be down to the south with temperature around 71 in Antlers at 10 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we'll see temperatures warming up into the 80s with southerly winds across the area, lower 80s out towards the west, perhaps even a few mid-80s like Lawton with 85. That's at 1 o'clock. Also mid-80s down to the south in Talihina and Poto with a chance of thunderstorms best down to the south. And then by 4 o'clock, we'll see temperatures in the mid-80s here in Tulsa, 83, 82 in Bristow, 82 in Hominy, mid-80s, even approaching 90 in places like Enid with an even 90 there. A little bit cooler down to the south and east where the better chance of storms will be for tomorrow, 82 in Talihina and 81 degrees over there in Antlers. And then as we go through the evening hours and moving into Sunday morning, we'll see temperatures still pretty mild, around 72 in Tulsa, 70 in Okmulgee, Wetumpka, Shawnee, and Oklahoma City, 68 in Antlers, 66 in Mena, 66 over in Fayetteville, with southerly winds continuing to pump up that moisture into our area, increasing the chances of thunderstorms, especially as we go towards Labor Day. In fact, here's your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, I think a pretty good day for most of northeastern Oklahoma, high of 84. Then on Sunday, a 40% chance of showers in the morning and a 40% chance in the afternoon, high of 83. Then on Monday, 40% in the morning and then jumping up to 80% by Monday afternoon. So Memorial Day looks pretty wet, a high of only 75. And then on Tuesday, 20% in the morning, 40% in the afternoon, 75 for your high. Then on Wednesday, 40% in both the morning and the afternoon. Northerly winds, though, a high of 74. Then on Thursday, 20% in the morning, 60% in the afternoon. That 20% in the morning will mainly be to the south, 60% in the afternoon on Thursday with a high of 78. Then on Friday, 40% chance of showers and storms mainly to the east and also to the south, and we should make it up to around 80 degrees. Notice the normals are 83 and 63 by the time we get to the 29th of May, and we're going to see slightly below normal temperatures for the next few days from Monday forward, but the lows are going to be above normal, and that's because of all the moisture that's going to be in the atmosphere. And that moisture in the atmosphere combined with the afternoon heating is why we have all these chances of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Not everybody's going to get wet. Not every day is it going to rain. It's just that we have to include these chances of storms to kind of reflect what we expect. 20% on Saturday, the 30th, in the northwest, 30% in the afternoon in the northeast with a high of 80. Then on Sunday, 30% pretty much everywhere, 79. Then on Monday, 40% in the afternoon, a high of 83. Then the chances of rain start to decrease a little bit as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, 20% chances, high of 82, 85 on Wednesday, June the 3rd, so that'll be a pretty warm day. Then on the 4th, 80, and then slightly cooler on Friday with a wind changing around to the north behind a weak front, so we'll drop temperatures a little bit, which is slightly below the normals of 85 and 65 by the time we get to the 5th of June. All right, that's a look at your forecast. Let's take a look at the allergies. Today, 1.8, not too bad. That's because of all the rain that we had this morning. Tomorrow, 5.9, and then on Saturday, 6.9. Then a little bit more relief on Monday with all the rain and storms expected, around 4.3, and then back up to 5 on Tuesday. And of course, most of this is grasses, chenopod's, and hickory. So we've had a little bit change in that. If you're heading out to the lakes, we've seen some changes as well. Some of them are starting to increase, of course, because of the rainfall that has occurred. Now we have a tornado warning. I'm going to go back to the radar real quick and show you that tornado warning that has just been issued on that cell that I was showing you a few moments ago. The center of circulation is now located right there on the Texas side in extreme southern Oklahoma into Texas. And I'm going to show you right now where the center of the rotation is. The center of the rotation is about 8.6 miles south-southwest of Granfield. Tornado warning in effect for extreme southern Tillman County, getting ready, and also will be affecting that northern county of into Texas on the other side of the Red River. So folks in those areas, you need to take your tornado precautions. Lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows, small interior room, such as a bathroom, hallway, or closet. And of course, if you have helmets, put those on to protect your head from any possible flying debris. Again, tornado warning issued on that particular cell that we've been showing you on Doppler velocity. All right, let's take a look and go back and look at the lakes one more time. As I said, a lot of the lakes are right out or slightly above normal. Keystone's at 4.5, Eufaula's at 2.6 and is falling. Fort Gibson's kind of high at 8.4, so is Worcester at 9.9. But some of the lakes are in great shape, like Copan, well, they're kind of high too, 7.3. Grand's at 1.9, Hudson's at 0.8, Skytook is at 0.4, Thunderbird 0.3. So there are some lakes out there that aren't that bad as far as high, but right now Fort Gibson and Worcester and Copan and Oologah all seem to be a little bit higher than normal and may impede on some of the recreational uses of the lakes. If you're floating on the Illinois River, we're also seeing a change on that too. Right now it's a 6.58, but we expect that to increase as the runoff from this morning's rain and storms and additional storms will start to flow into the river. So we could see it crest at around 8.9 Sunday afternoon. So if you're going to be going out on the river, today and tomorrow will probably be better than if you go on Sunday or Monday. So that kind of gives you an idea on the Illinois River. Temperatures across the country from the 30th through the 5th of June are going to be below normal for the Northeast as well as the central Ohio River Valley all the way down into Texas, including Oklahoma, with above normal for the central Rockies out towards the west coast and also a little bit in South Florida. And on the precip side, we're expecting drier than normal from Oklahoma northward, especially the northern plains, with above normal for western parts of New Mexico as well as the northern California and Oregon coast. All right, that's a look at your forecast. If anything changes, we'll be sure to let you know. Right here, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this tornado warning that is ongoing down in northern parts of Texas and extreme southern Oklahoma in southern Tillman County. Stay with us and we'll keep you advised right here at the National Storm Channel. Have a great evening. We'll be back at 10 o'clock.
When severe weather threatens or strikes, turn to the National Storm Channel and Chief Meteorologist Sam Lake. Whether we are streaming from the field or broadcasting from our studios, our dedicated team of meteorologists are working hard to keep you and your family safe. Trust the National Storm Channel, because we are Oklahoma's weather authority.